We're now about to go live in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now live.
89.5 WSKB.
Live from the campus of Westfield State University, this is 89.5 FM, WSKB, Westfield.
Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by the Dunkin' Donut Shops of Westfield and the Sardinia family. It's nice to know that even as the world changes, Dunkin' Coffee remains the same at 7 convenient locations throughout Westfield.
Wow, it's
What was
Tuesday.
that?
April 1st. April 1st. That's one of my favorite classical singers. Her name is Florence Foster Jenkins. And I just, when.
What year was that from?
I think it was like 1927. It's a little
Yeah.
scratchy, so you can't
Just a
really hear the
tad.
quality of her voice that I find to be one of the most distinctive voices in classical music today. And I play it for everyone because you have to discover this wonderful, wonderful singer whose repertoire. She sings everything from jazz to classical to bop, and does it with a finesse and with a skill that is so beyond belief. I think, huh? Kathy Bradford, everyone, Westfield on weekends, right here.
Hello.
How are you? Right beside me. She's sitting on my left today because it's a left-handed day. Are you left-handed?
No,
No, you're right-handed.
I am, but I like to be able to see the whole environment. When I sit on that side, I can only see part of it.
Oh, okay. So you could probably see Pete
Yes,
Coles,
I
the
do.
kitten of the
You
keys,
could
right
turn
there
on
in the
both
back.
monitors. I did tell her about that, too.
Oh
Yes.
my gosh! Oh yeah, but you know what happens? I end up looking over here at that monument. What do you call it?
Monitor.
Monitor. I call it a monument. The monument to history.
No, only when
A
you
monument.
screw it up, you call it a monument.
Well, that's true. When I screw it up, it's a monument to television. The monitor over to the left here.
Well, what happens on that side is I keep looking to the right, so it looks like I'm ignoring you.
I was told I wanted to mount
okay.
one in the ceiling
Yeah.
originally a long time ago, and I
Right.
was told no because it would be too far away.
Oh, okay, gotcha. But I like, like for instance, there's an empty seat, like we're doing Passover or something here. Who is coming tonight?
Well, I thought
There's
somebody else
something.
is coming. That's why I
Yes,
left
we
the
have
seat
Someone
open.
is.
Peter Coles, as a matter. Peter Coles is here.
Dennis,
Dennis Aikens.
This is what
here.
happens when Bob's mind is awake and not on autopilot. I've noticed in the afternoons,
Yeah.
he's awake and thinking, and
Yeah.
when Bob starts thinking, things just come out. Because he's thinking about 10 million things at once, and he's not quite on autopilot like he was in the morning.
Oh, it's
That is
it's so
true.
so true. It's sort of like when I used to teach school in Agawam. I taught school in
Yes.
Agawam. Yeah, what did I teach in Agawam?
I'm guessing
Inglés.
English.
English?
Inglés.
Huh?
Inglés.
Inglés. I taught everything. Yeah, I taught mythology. I taught film. I taught introduction to acting. I taught English. I taught composition. I taught, all those. It was one of those things where I would read the text the night before and then go in and teach it.
Yes.
Like I knew what I was
We
talking
know
about.
you're a Renaissance man, Bob.
Oh man. But I was an actor who was, used to staying up very, very late and partying and all of that sort of stuff. Yeah. So I used to have trouble getting up in the morning for school. And,
I'm not surprised. That's early.
No, man. It was 8 o'clock was my first class, and to teach. I was right across from Miss Lucardi's office. She was the guidance counselor who really took me under her wing. And if she didn't see that the class there was anyone in the classroom, she would go over. Jane Lucardi, she's dead, passed away years ago. Love her. Rest in peace. I don't love that she's dead, but she was lovely while she was alive. What?
Bob,
You're a trip,
welcome
Bob.
to April.
Okay, so at any rate,
This whole show's going to be an April Fool's. I can
I
already
can
It's
feel
April
it. I
Fool's
can
Day.
feel it.
Yeah. So what I would do is I would wake up maybe at 20 of 8 with a start, as they say, and I or 25 of 8 or 8:30, and I lived on Myron Court in West Springfield, Massachusetts. You know where Myron Court
No.
is? It's around the corner from O'Cow's. It's
really?
the first street
Okay,
after
okay.
Cow's
Oh, it's
restaurant.
down
Yeah.
the back down there?
Yeah, and if you look, there is
That's all owned by Bob Pulvereri.
oh, who?
That property's owned by Bob Pulvereri.
And who is that?
Used to be a race car driver, but I think he's one of the most significant landowners in West Springfield.
Oh, my gosh.
Wow, I didn't know.
Wow. Well, also, it's the land of Dave DeRico's Golf World.
Yep.
And
That's been there forever, too.
Yeah, and Dave DeRico, I taught. I was his teacher when he was in junior high school.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was my
6 degrees of class.
Honest to God. Yeah, I got to hit him up some golf balls for something we're doing.
Some event or
some
something.
event. I got to remind me.
I will.
I
will.
Kath is the director of Westfield and Weekend Center downtown, 105 Elm Street in downtown Westfield. This is the Westfield and Weekend show, incidentally. My name is Bob Plass, Kathy Bradford, Peter Coles in the center square. I already said all of that. But at any rate, okay, so to get back to the story, I was infrequently like 2 minutes late for my homeroom class. Mm-hmm. And Jane would substitute for me until I got there. Now, we had this principal from hell. His name was Mr. Tatro, and I called him Mr. Tatro because I couldn't bring myself at that point to call any boss anything but Mr. or Ms.
Right.
I don't know whether I was from the South or whatever, that courtesy or whatever. It was more out of fear.
It's called Catholic guilt, Bob.
Yeah, well, it was fear. It was basic fear. He wore hush puppies, and he would enter the room, sit in the back, and watch me scream at the class for not paying attention or whatever. It was awful. It was dreadful. I hated it. I actually hated it. But why am I telling this story?
I don't know.
Getting out of bed.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. Getting out of bed and then teaching a class after having slept until 7:30, and then at 8 o'clock, I would teach the class. I got the times wrong earlier. Okay. So I would teach the class at 8 o'clock, and then I would sort of like wake up about 10 o'clock.
I'm not surprised.
And I learned to sort of do it, whatever, except there was one time during Halloween, I used to read for them, and I told this story online, here before, but I was reading The Telltale Heart, that Edgar Allan Poe story, and I would add, it's the one, Peter, you know it, the one where he buries the person in the, it's the cask of Amontillado, and he hates the guy's eye, so he buries him in a wall, and then the heart keeps on beating. The telltale, it keeps on beating and beating and beating, and I would be going beat, 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 beat. Well, one year when I did that, I fell asleep while I was reading.
That's hysterical.
And there was this moment, and I was yes, exactly right. And the class, I'm standing there in front of the class, and I sort of nodded off, and then I kind of looked like, oh my God, and I don't know whether the class thought I had had a heart attack or whatever, but nobody moved or whatever, and I just sort of took a deep breath and.
No one could believe you were asleep standing up.
No, I couldn't. Have you ever slept standing up?
I can't say that I have.
No, I can't.
Peter, have you ever got that?
I could sleep sitting up.
No. Oh, yeah, I could. I do sleep sitting up all the time, every night at 7:20 at night when we're watching television. Or 7:40 is around the time.
That's your little nap time, and then you wake up and stay up late, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the worst. I do the same thing.
It's absolutely ludicrous.
Yeah.
I missed the whole episode of this great series we're watching that is called Ludwig on, I think it's BritBox or something, with one of my favorite actors, David. He's a English actor, David Mitchell, and it's sort of like Monk, but we watched the second episode last night, or third episode. I saw the crime, and then I saw who did it, but
you missed everything else.
Everything in between. James said, "Well, you missed." I said, "No, I know who did it. I know what they did. I don't.
Right.
You know, if that's a way of watching a mystery show,
It sure is.
It's terrible. At any rate, this is all of that I told you right there was all true on April Fool's Day.
There you go.
Yeah.
I know it to be true. I don't call you before 10 a.m.
It is kind of well, and I'm freaky that way because I've turned. Where's my phone? I turned off the do not disturb phone or whatever. I wonder. Let me just see. Oh, it's do not disturb. So I'm pressing it now, so no one disturbs me while I'm on radio.
There you go.
There we are. There
Perfect.
we are. Yeah, look at the weather outside is gloomy for an April 1st.
April showers.
They bring me flowers. Oh, and what are you playing there, Pete? What's that in the background?
A show about nothing.
Oh, a show about nothing. Oh yeah, I love this. Yeah, you're absolutely right. It's the Seinfeld. That's the Seinfeld.
Yeah.
It is.
Do you like Seinfeld?
Actually, I am not a sitcom lover, but I did love Seinfeld.
What is it about sitcoms that doesn't set your heart a racing?
It's just too short and it just doesn't have enough.
Not enough. Well,
No.
they're only 20,
I know.
27 minutes. Used to be 30 minutes. If you watch I Love Lucy, it's
Now
like
22 minutes.
Yeah.
22 minutes. That takes me, I can't walk across a room in 22
Half-hour
minutes.
shows, 22 minutes.
Well, if there are people there, you for sure can't.
Oh, I can't. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, my God. No.
How about 22 hours?
20. Yeah, well, 20. I make it in 22 hours.
I
Yeah.
love when it's a lot. It's like when I read a fat book. I don't want it to ever end. When I am watching a mini series or a show that has a number of seasons, I don't want it to end. I want it so I can binge watch and be so happy. Sitcoms are just too short.
I'm watching a docu-series in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Oh, what? Which one are you watching? I've watched
So, like, the whole Marvel. It's from the company called Nacelle. I think it was originally on Netflix.
And what is it? What is it? Oh, it's about how they produce.
It's about how they how Marvel came to be, and then how it evolved into the current cinematic universe, and the gambles they took, and how they sold stuff short early on just to keep the company afloat. It's a fascinating series.
Oh,
and
I love it.
How they have Easter eggs in every movie, foreshadowing future movies.
Oh yeah, and
lots of them.
Oh yeah, and in fact, you never when you're watching a Marvel film, you can't leave before the credits are over.
Oh,
God,
no, of course
there's-
not.
No,
that
why?
they're-
And why?
They're known for that.
Well, because there's stuff that happens.
There's stuff that happens
There's
after
always
the credits
foreshadowing.
begin. Yeah.
They said that in the Avengers movie,
Yeah.
they didn't have anything after the credits and at the premiere, and people were like, "Wow, that's weird."
Oh.
So afterwards, they got together and they shot. There's something that Iron Man says about going to a shawarma restaurant. They went ahead after the premiere, got everybody together, and shot a quick scene in them eating shawarma
Wow.
in a restaurant in New York that was supposedly right down the street from the battle scene. And they said that Captain America was already filming the next Captain America movie, had a full beard, and had to hide him with a fist like this, hide his beard during the scene. Oh. Because they had already in production, they didn't want him to shave his beard.
Oh my gosh.
So I'm like, these are just little Easter eggs.
Oh yeah, and I find that Marvel movies have been getting bad reviews recently. The Marvel universe is getting bad reviews, and quite honestly, they're so well produced. The Daredevil series is now. I watched Daredevil. It's a treatise on good, bad, and evil, and whatever.
It's because of
just
burnout,
love it.
Bob. It's burnout.
Is it burnout?
It's what happened to the Star Trek franchise with Enterprise. That was a good series, and they just thought people wouldn't get burnt out, and they got burnt out. And that was it for, 10 plus 15 years?
So maybe it needs to regroup and
They need to let it breathe a little bit and then have it come back in a couple of years. But the problem is if your profits are tied to one star or one group of movies, they're going to keep producing them until it completely just
My brother was in a Captain America one.
Your brother was in a Captain America movie? April Fool's?
You know that one? No, not April Fool's. His wife recorded him getting his Captain America tattoo. And
it was early on. It was the white Captain America. It was a black Captain.
Yeah,
America.
it was in the one that they had all
Sterling
these
came
shots at the end of different things going on in the world. and it was one's my brother getting his Captain America tattoo. And so he's not allowed to divulge any of the terms of the agreement, but we just are excited because he
Did
was
he
in it.
get any money for that?
Usually they
did.
give you
Did
money
they pay,
and
yeah.
or merchandise.
Because he sent. Well, did he send them their tape or how?
No, they found
what-
it. They found it.
Where? I mean,
Online.
like I went in to get a
Facebook.
tattoo and somebody.
Like Facebook.
What did he
Sometimes
find?
social media stuff gets shared with a tag and it finds
And if
its
you
way to a
tag
studio.
it, if you tag, Marvel or Captain America
Right,
or whatever,
sure.
they get to go through it. Someone's job is to look at all that.
Yeah, they have social media people.
Yeah.
Hey, this is an idea.
Programming would be so much better if I had a staff.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
actually do
infinitely
things.
better.
Oh, man.
Can
Like
you
to
imagine?
do things.
Oh yeah.
I was talking about this. I'm trying to do for one of our news shows.
Yeah.
A high school student's doing an astronomy, and I want to do a rocket report. And I'm like, I wish I had somebody just to scour for video for all these rocket launches because there's so many of them. I would do the voiceover and the editing.
Right.
Right.
Just acquiring the footage takes a long time,
Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh man. It's sort
especially
of.
if you're doing like Chinese or, Indian rockets or whatever.
Yeah.
They don't necessarily broadcast them, and it's hard to find them.
Yeah. The Marvel universe is and to get clips from the Marvel universe or to watch the entire Marvel. I've been watching them in chronological order.
Right.
You go to the thing and it's in chronological order supposedly, and I've watched almost every one of them except for the new Daredevil. And,
Did you watch any of the stinkers that were there a long time ago?
Sure.
There were some stinkers out there because they sold the rights to other companies.
Yeah.
Like, there was a couple of terrible Hulk movies.
Oh, I've seen
After
them.
the TV series, there was
I've seen
there was two terrible Hulk movies.
Yeah.
And there was a Captain America movie that was like a B movie type thing.
Yes,
It was just
yeah.
terrible.
Well, they recommend once you get hooked into one, Jessica James, I think, or Jessica James is a porn star. Not that I know. I mean, I don't know. I really don't know.
It's Jenna James.
What is that name?
Jenna James.
Oh, I'm sorry. See, do
you think Jessica Alba Fantastic Four?
Jessica, no, not Jessica Alban. There's a series of she's a detective in the 1920s, and her name is Jessica somebody. Jessica, I don't know, but at any rate, okay. So she's in that film, but she's also in another film. So you have to end up going to that series. It's like the guy that plays Dead Ringer. In Dead Ringer, that character is in the is one of the lawyers in that film, and so you end up. It's like a rabbit hole, quite honestly. And if you're OCD and you've made up your mind, you're going to watch them chronologically. Holy Mother of God!
Well, keep going. I'm
Yeah.
glad to hear the report.
You're not watching.
Not at all.
You're not in the least bit interested.
No.
In none of
No.
them.
Not my style.
Not a superhero fan?
Oh.
No, I'm not.
Oh, my.
Only my brother. He's my superhero.
So you've seen Captain America, where your brother's at the end.
Yes, of course.
Of course you.
No, I've only seen the end.
Yeah.
I've only seen his part.
All right. Okay. Hey, I love Stacey Kent. Here she is. She's singing a song in French that uses the phrase "bibbidi bobbidi boo."
Ah, very good. I thought it had something to do with Cinderella
Oh, why?
because that's what
That's
they
from-
sing in that song.
From
Cinderella?
Cinderella?
Sings "bibbidi bobbidi boo."
Yes.
Yes,
Who sings?
the fairy godmother.
Yeah.
In all of the Cinderella shows, "bibbidi bobbidi boo" is sung by a Cinderella. I mean,
No,
like
not
It's in the
Cinderella.
movie, Bob.
It's in the movie.
and who the fairy godmother sings
Yes.
"bibbidi
Yes,
bobbidi"
when she's putting her dress on her.
when she's making the dress. She's a seamstress.
No, she's the fairy godmother. So she waves her wand and sings the song, and then
And how does it go?
I'm not singing it.
Salagadoo.
There-
Oh,
like
there
that.
she is. Of course I know that, Kath. Happy April Fool's Day. Of course I know that. What are you,
I'm
crazy?
like, are you kidding?
No. Actually, Perry Como had a huge hit with this song, believe it or not. But this is it in French. I on April Fool's Day, I thought it would be fun to hear Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo in French. See if you can detect which is French and which is the bibbidi and the bobbidi part.
Okay.
Because bibbidi, how do you translate Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo into French?
I would just say it the same way.
You are so smart. She's so smart. All right, play it, Pete.
Salagadoola, Mitchkaboula, Bibbidi Babbidi Boo. Mélangez tout ça et vous aurez quoi? Bibbidi Babbidi Boo. Salagadoola, Mitchkaboula, Bibbidi Babbidi Boo. C'est de la magie où je m'y connais pas. Bibbidi Babbidi Boo. Salagadoola veut dire la mèche que Scooby-Doo. Mais le truc qui fait boum à tous les coups c'est Bibbidi Babbidi Boo. Oh Salagadoola, mèche que boula, Bibbidi Babbidi Boo. Mélangez tout ça et vous aurez quoi? Bibbidi Babbidi, Bibbidi Babbidi, Bibbidi Babbidi Boo. Veut dire la Magic Scooby-Doo. Mais le truc qui fait boum à tous les coups c'est Bibbidi Babbidi Boo. Oh Salagadoola, Magic Boola, Bibbidi Babbidi Boo. Mélangez tout ça et vous aurez quoi? Bibbidi Babbidi, Bibbidi Babbidi, Bibbidi Babbidi Boo. Bibbidi Babbidi, Bibbidi Babbidi, Bibbidi Babbidi, Bibbidi Babbidi, Bibbidi Babbidi, Bibbidi Babbidi, Bibbidi Babbidi Boo. Bibbidi Babbidi Boo. Boo, 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 boo.
Support for community radio on WSKB is provided by Betts Plumbing and Heating Supply Company, an independent, family-owned wholesaler serving Westfield for over 50 years, specializing in plumbing, heating, and industrial piping supplies. On the web at bettsplumbing.com or at 14 Coleman Avenue in Westfield.
Hi, this is Harry Rock, host of Rock on Westfield every fourth Wednesday at 8 a.m. Tune in for my view of this place I call home.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB.
Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 at 89.5 FM, WSKB Westfield.
Wow, it is Tuesday, April 1st, 2026. April Fool, it's only 2025. I knew that one. That's an April Fool's joke.
If we ever do,
Yeah.
Harry's show ever lands on April 1st, I have the perfect opening for his show. Want to hear it?
Harry Rock's show. What's
If
Harry?
it landed
It's
at-
Rock on
Rock on Westfield.
Okay, let's hear the opening.
This is his opening.
Right, let's say, yeah.
But
okay.
wait a minute, hold on. It's not sung by the right people. I'll show you in a minute.
Do you understand this? This is something about mocha. You know Spanish. What is
That's not Spanish.
What is it?
It's Minion
Minion.
from Despicable Me. Minion, the Minions.
Oh, I love
They released
it.
an album, believe it or not.
Oh my God! So Harry Rock is using the YMCA theme. Is this
Oh, yeah, that's Harry's identity. What are you talking about?
really? Where does that fit into Harry? Oh, the
He was the YMCA director for 20 years.
Yeah, that's
okay,
true.
all right.
I forgot about that too.
All right, I was.
One of
I
these
was
days, I'm
go-
just going to slip it in there on him just to do one of his shows.
I love
On a
it.
guest where I know that will play along with it.
Oh my God! Yeah. Oh my
Good
God.
idea.
Oh yeah, yeah. Will Harry laugh?
Yeah, actually, he probably like first he'd be like bewildered.
Yeah, yeah.
And then he'd be like, I got the Minions to sing it for you, Harry. Of course, if he's listening to this, the joke is out. But you know,
Yes,
Oh yeah.
that's
But he
true.
doesn't know-
Oh,
he doesn't know what I'm
he
gonna
does
slip-
listen to the show, Harry. You're.
he doesn't know when I'm going to spring it on him. So
Yeah. When's Harry's show? Let's do a plug for him. So
he's
they-
the
tell him
final.
make up something. No,
He's the
since it's April
fourth Wednesday of the month.
Fourth Wednesday of the month. See, you are the first Wednesday of the first Tuesday of the month. That's how I think of you, Kath.
Well, that's interesting because I was thinking I didn't expect to be here today, but I happily had
well,
a
it's
space.
because you see, it's a day earlier
Right.
than you usually. You usually
Right.
the first. You never come on the first. You don't
no,
visit
I'm
on
usually
the first.
kind of like the second week usually.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
that thing about the first day of the. We have a WOW meeting tomorrow night, and it just seems like too early in the month
Right.
or something. When something happens
Exactly.
on the first or the second or whatever.
And Pride's now a week later than it usually is because we're the first Monday in Pride.
Wait a
So-
minute. What do you mean?
So
You're talking about.
we don't have a meeting tonight. We have a meeting next Monday because it's the first Monday of April.
Oh.
April's screwing everything up this year.
It really could that be why it's called April Fool's Day?
It could be.
I
This month is killing me for stuff because I have all kinds of events going on.
oh, do you?
Yeah,
tell
it's messing
us.
messing up the part-time job.
Yeah, well, okay. So tell us
Well,
about
Big
your
Sing
event.
is this weekend.
The Big Sing.
Yeah.
The Big Sing.
It's
When is it?
Usually it's a standalone event, but this year Into the Arts is going to be the same time and place as the Big Sing.
Wait a minute.
So that's all.
Where
of
is
the,
this?
All of it. It's going to be at the high school in the
Ah,
gym.
very nice.
The
So
Big
all of the
Sing.
music programs from all of the schools are going to get together and do one big sing.
Oh.
Okay, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. I don't know why we should know about that, so we publicize
Into the
it.
Arts too is this weekend.
Is it Into the Arts?
Into the Arts.
Yeah.
Who does that?
That's
Westfield Public School.
Public
Ah,
schools.
okay.
Public schools.
Great.
We have coming up. You've been working with the Boys and Girls Club.
Yes,
Tell
yes.
us about that.
We're gonna
Westfield
be-
on weekends, incidentally.
Yeah.
What is this?
We'll be
And then-
showing the.
We'll be back to you, Pete, in a minute. I'm balancing events, and Peter Dennis Akins is coming in here to join the fray in a second. You'll see him walk in, put down the. Hey, how are you? Yeah, sit down.
How's everyone?
Good. We're listening to great events in April. So we have the
Great.
Big Sing this Friday night at the high school, and then and Into the Arts it's at the high school, right?
Yeah, they're both Saturday. It's all Saturday.
It's Saturday, and it's they have all the artistic students both sing
Artwork from all over the
artwork
district?
all over the district.
Yeah.
So
And
you're
then the
working. So Kathy
Yeah.
is also working with. We'll be back to you, Pete, in a sec. But Kathy, you're working with the Boys and Girls Club on
I
Sunday.
am.
Tell
I'm
us
very
what.
excited to be doing a presentation of the winners of the Boys and Girls Club art competition at our Westfield Boys and Girls Club, but it goes into competition across the country. So we're going to have the
Nice.
Westfield
Yeah.
winners, and they're going to be at downtown at the WOW Center,
Right.
and we're very excited to show them. So keep an eye out. Bob will announce when the reception is, but I believe that's the beginning of May. So
The beginning of May.
Yeah.
If it's May 1st, I'll be discombobulated.
Exactly.
If you have events on the beginning of May, it gets everybody confused that it's the first Monday in May. Your meetings happen the first Monday in May. It can't be. May 1st is on Monday. No, you know what I'm saying. At any rate, okay, Peter, that's one. What's the other one?
So the following weekend, the Mayor's Easter egg hunt has a scheduled time of Saturday.
Yeah.
And then this year they built in a rain day, so I had to take 2 days off from the part-time job to do that. And then the following week is Easter.
Right.
Oh,
So
yes.
it's a busy month.
Well, it's a crazy month, as
And it'll
we
be
like
my
to say.
fiance's last year in her house, so we're going to do Easter at her house for her family.
This is your fiance's last Easter at her home.
Yes.
You're going to be hiding
selling it.
She's going to be hiding the eggs all over.
Yep.
So future homeowners will find the eggs. Did that happen in your house on Easter?
No.
My mother used to hide eggs all over the house. So throughout the year, and she'd forget where she hid them, and that we could,
Ew.
and we'd
Were
find
they
these.
live? I mean, were they real eggs? Did they smell?
Plastic eggs? Mom?
No. They were those big hard ones that break your teeth. What are
Plastic
you,
eggs.
No, they weren't.
They're
plastic.
candy eggs.
Candy eggs. Candy
Oh.
eggs. Have you ever tasted those candy eggs 4 months hence?
No.
Oh my God! Talk about jawbreakers. Holy Mother God! At any rate, no, she planned them out. You didn't have that. See, my mother didn't allow us to leave the house until we were 18.
And boy, did you leave the house.
Oh, yeah.
My mother was was a creative one. She used to make.
That's a lie.
She used to make little bunny steps with talcum powder or flour.
Oh,
She'd make
that's
little bunny
clever.
steps, and they'd. My mother is the most creative woman I know, but she would make little bunny hops. So if you couldn't find eggs, a
Just
couple
follow.
of them would lead to eggs, and then you'd get started for the little ones.
I think it's a
Bunny,
great idea.
oh my God!
Little tracks.
My mother was doing the same thing, only she was using raisinets because she thought that
She
that
did
was
the bunny poop.
the bunny poop trick. No, I made that up too.
Oh, your poor mom.
Yeah. Hey, so the the eggs, the Mayor's Easter egg hunt. Okay,
Yes.
where is it? Is it going to be at Shaker Farms or
I
something?
believe it is at
I
Shaker
think
Farms
it's Shaker
again, yeah.
Farms. Yeah, Nancy Kodowitz out there, and I think it is there, and the Easter Bunny makes an appearance.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah,
Well, that's great.
and
Big event for the kids, you know?
yeah, it's an interesting event. Now, if it was at the White House, what do you think about the White House? You have to buy in or something.
Well, you can
Yeah,
buy it.
They're
Now,
selling
he's
sponsors.
selling sponsorships
Sponsorships.
for the first time.
Yeah, to make some dough. Sounds like Westfield on
Oh, my
weekends. It's really, honest to God.
Probably to pay for the event.
Oh, yeah, I know. Well, in this day and age, you have to find the money someplace because God knows no one has.
Well, I don't
no,
think
no
Easter
one
at the
has.
White House is a very expensive event.
Well, I don't know.
they do
What do they?
Fireworks cost like $50,000.
I
Oh.
truly
I don't
have
think they
way
do
too much to
fireworks
say
on
and will not
Easter.
say
I know,
anything.
That's just for that
Yeah.
event.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing. Somebody's phone is ringing. Is that mine? No, I have mine.
not me.
No,
Oh, no. Oh, is that Hollywood calling us?
no, it is not. It was my alarm to remind me that I would need to be here.
Oh.
Or something, or do something.
Oh,
But now
so
I'm here.
you mean you put an alarm on and then you say, what am I supposed to be doing at this moment?
Yeah, usually I look at my calendar.
Oh, all right. Okay. All right.
means
I
check
would
your
be going,
calendar.
it's sort of like when you walk into a room and you wonder,
So the Easter egg
why
hunt-
am I here?
Yeah, but you have to understand why. Because last week the alarm went off, we totally ignored it, and I was late for bingo at
It
the
was late
senior
for
center.
bingo.
What?
Yes, and once I got there, they were very happy that I was there. They
We
had
were
started.
working on a grant. And,
Yeah.
you know, Kathy doesn't really miss appointments. So
Yeah.
they called her looking for her because she was supposed to be down there. And she was horrified.
Yeah.
And I felt bad because I was engaged with her. And we were so
Yeah.
entrenched
Yeah.
in our
Yeah,
activity,
yeah.
we lost track of the time.
Yeah.
Oh my God! So you had a whole room full of bingo players. They can get pretty feisty.
Oh, believe me, they still started at 1 o'clock. They had
they
one
did?
of them. Yeah, they had one of them do it, and then I just jumped in. But
yeah.
it was terrible. I'm never late.
Oh
No,
my
no,
God! And
you're
I
not.
heard you were really popular.
Well, I don't know if I was really popular, but they said that I did a good job.
Could you give us a call? How do you call B13?
I would probably say B13, B 13.
Unless you're late, and then it's just 13.
Yeah,
And then
I'll
they get
forget the
upset.
B just to make it quick. Yeah, just 13, 14, whatever.
Or truly, I did say.
Did you make a mistake at
I
all?
did.
And did they correct you?
They laughed because instead of saying 075,
Yeah.
I said 075, and they all started laughing. So I said, "Oops," and then I said 075.
Oh my gosh. You have
very fun.
Well, you did that for Westfield Pride, your organization, our
I did.
organization,
Right.
Westfield Pride.
Well, I'm a representative of both.
Yeah,
so.
and Westfield on Weekends is another whole entity. But we benefited from your going out there late
Right.
as it is, because what? We have a bingo game.
We do, which again, with this crazy schedule, is not until the 14th this month. I know it seems so late, but
Oh my gosh.
the 14th at 6 p.m. we have bingo once a month on the second Monday, and it's pretty fun. Cash prizes with a bonus round at the end.
Yeah.
We play 11 games.
Pete,
It's great.
Pete, get this. If somebody calls a wrong number, that Kathy does, it says, no, you didn't get it, I'm sorry. She makes you walk back to your chair with your head hung in shame. And everyone in the room goes, boo, hiss. No, I made that up. But I do that. No,
Not a chance. I would never.
I do that. Well, no, I do it. When I'm down there just to make fun,
Right.
I sometimes pretend that I've got don't tell the folks at bingo. I sometimes pretend that I've got a right card
Right.
when I don't have the right card. Then I have to do the walk of shame like in Game of Thrones. I remove my shirt and everything.
Oh my God.
No.
I'm happy
That's a
to
lie.
say those are the days that I was not there.
No, you weren't. You weren't there. Hey, we're going to get back and talk to Denny Akins in a minute, but you know the Irish Rovers?
dun.
I found an Irish Rover song
Yeah.
that you used to sing to me when we were dating back in the 60s.
Oh my God.
Yeah, remember that?
I barely remember dating you, but yes.
Oh yeah. Well, you've got scars to prove it.
It's true. I do have scars.
Oh, my God.
Physical and
Is that
emotional.
like 60 years ago?
It was. How old? I
Oh
mean, like,
no, I
how old-
wasn't 10 years old when you were dating me.
No, I was 80, and wait a minute. I was
like 27
really
at the time.
We-
So.
Oh my God! And I
I'd be
was
50.
like 42.
Okay, so it can't be that long.
What's
Not
that?
quite.
What?
It was long ago.
It
but
was terrible. I was a cougar, and I didn't even mean to. I didn't mean it. All I wanted was somebody to smile at me and tell me I was okay, and he did.
Oh, God.
Until he didn't. It's really true.
It was insane.
At any rate.
That was
all
good
right.
to
So this
remember.
is the song.
But here we are, friends, all these years
Oh my
later.
God. Okay. So okay. And you don't see that on Jimmy Kimmel. He's not bringing on his last.
No, he's
girlfriend.
not.
No, you know, at any rate. Okay, so Dennis, remember singing this? This was his romantic love song to me. You knew
Yes,
it was
yes.
destined for no good.
And,
Here it is.
And I had hair then.
Oh yeah.
What song, Bob?
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's the 6:30 song. It's the Irish Rovers, because Dennis is part Irish, right? Right.
I'm an Irish citizen.
You are an Irish citizen, so let's play the Irish Rovers.
Oh me, oh my, oh you, whatever shall I do? Whoop, hallelujah, the question is peculiar. I'd give a lot of dough if only I could know. The answer to my question, is it yes or is it no? Does your chewing gum lose its flavor on the bedpost overnight? And if your mother says don't chew it, do you swallow it in spite? And do you catch it on your tonsils, then you heave it left and right? Does your chewing gum lose its flavor on the bedpost overnight? Here comes the blushing bride, with the bridegroom by her side. Up to the altar, just as steady as Gibraltar, he went and bought a ring. Well, it's such a lovely thing, but as he slips it on her finger, the choir begins to sing. Does your chewing gum lose its flavor on the bedpost overnight? And if your mother says don't chew it, do you swallow it in spite? And you catch it on your tonsils, then you heave it left and right. Does your chewing gum lose its flavor on the bedpost overnight? Now this nation rose as one to send their honest son. Up to the White House, the nation's only White House, to voice their discontent. On to the President, this timely burning question which has rocked this continent. Does your chewing gum lose its flavor on the bedpost overnight? And if your mother says don't chew it, do you swallow it in spite? And do you catch it on your tonsils, then you heave it left and right? Does chewing gum lose its flavor on the bedpost overnight? On the bedpost overnight.
Underwriting for Community Radio on WSKB is brought to you in part by Rockies. Over 30 convenient locations throughout Massachusetts, Rhode Island, New Hampshire, Connecticut, and Florida. One of the nation's largest ACE dealers. Expertise and great product selection in paint, hardware, lawn and garden. That's Rockies. Rock solid service since 1926. On the web at rockies.com.
Join us every Thursday morning
from 6 until at least 7:30.
Check out the Bobby G and Company Show
right here on WSKB 89.5
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB.
Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 at 89.5 FM, WSKB Westfield.
Wow, it is Tuesday. It's April Fool's Day where you are, April 1st, 2025. We're playing a game with you because look at the weather in the back. This is not your weather tomorrow. No. We provide the weather for you ahead of time so that tomorrow you can see what you don't have. Isn't that the way it works?
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully it means they won't have it.
Yeah. Peter, what's the weather going to be like tomorrow then?
I was looking that up as you were talking.
Oh, yeah. I think it's going to be...
It's going to be partly cloudy with the high around 50.
50. Oh my gosh. Have you? Is it time to?
Going to be going to full sun by noontime.
Oh,
nice.
That's nice.
So this cloudiness will be clearing out by the time the show starts.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
But it's an April Fool's show, so it's not a bad thing to have a fog behind you.
No. Hey, get ready, everyone. There's a storm coming today. That's the April Fool's.
That's the most benign of April.
That was the worst April Fool's joke. Have you?
If you really want to do an April Fool's show, we should have done is you should have done the Bobby G and Company show as an April Fool's under the Wow It's Tuesday with you as the host. You should have watched one of Bobby's shows.
Yes.
Did what Bobby normally does, all his little bits and everything.
Oh, I see. Oh.
And done a complete April Fool's show as Bobby G and Company.
Oh, I could. I was thinking.
Now that would have been funny because he's...
Hey, haven't we all been fools at one point in our life or another?
Of course.
It's being human. I mean, we all have a little bit of fool mentality to us.
I wonder. I mean, is April Fool's Day an international holiday? Yes or no?
Oh, I don't know. I think no.
You say no.
I think no.
The answer is wrong. It's an international holiday.
It is.
It's an international holiday.
I did not know that.
No. In fact, they call it, in French, it's called Poisson d'Avril.
Ah.
Yeah. Which means April fish. Yeah. Get this. Theories about the origin, well, that's what they say. Instead of April Fools, they say April fish.
Okay.
You have any idea where that came?
Is that the joke?
No. The theories about the origin of the phrase are almost as many as theories about the origin of April Fool's Day itself. For instance, one theory is that the phrase derives from the abundance of fish found in streams and rivers during early April, and the ease with which these fish could be caught with a hook and a lure. See, it's also associated with the first day of spring.
True.
Yeah, let's or whatever. Another theory is that phrase is a corruption of the word passion from the Passion plays, which were performed during the Middle Ages that would depict how Christ was sent back and forth to torment him. Sent back and forth to torment him. I don't know. No. Oh, from Ananias to Caiaphas, to Pluto to Herod.
Yeah, nobody wanted
Pilate to Herod and whatever.
Nobody really wanted to be the one.
Oh,
to
that,
sentence him.
oh, so isn't that interesting? But somebody misheard the word passion and they thought they were saying for the word for fish, poisson.
Somebody said the association between 1 April and foolishness might go back as far as the Canterbury Tales.
Oh, yes, exactly. There's a Canterbury Tale in which there is a tortoise or some animal fooled by a fox, fooled by another animal.
It's during the Nun's Priest Tale, and it was a vain rooster.
Oh, it was a vain rooster.
Very nice.
Yeah. Whatever the phrase was, okay. In French-speaking Belgium and Italy, the fish is the primary symbol of April Fool's Day. And in these areas, it used to be customary to send humorous postcards with pictures of fish on them.
Well, it's interesting because the fish is also the symbol for Christ.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's so true. By contrast, the fool or the jester is the primary symbol of the day. In some regions in England, April Fool's Day used to be called April Naughty, naughty being an archaic term for food or simpleton. If you're a naughty or a simpleton.
I like this one from 1686.
Yeah.
John Aubrey referred to the celebration as Fool's Holy Day, and on April 1st, 1698, several people were tricked into going to the Tower of London to see the lions washed.
Oh, my God. Yeah. They've been fooling people. We've been being fooled right from the very beginning of birth. And when they say, welcome to life, you'll be smiling forever. And that baby is smiling until they're what? 10 years old, 12 years old? I don't know. At what time do people stop smiling?
For the first time they poop in their drawers.
Oh, that's so true. And
then they're not happy no more.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, Peter. In fact, today we've got International Pooper Scooper Week.
Like how I set you up for that?
Yeah. Did you know that Pooper Scooper Week is this week?
I'm glad.
Yeah.
I did.
Are you a pooper scooper?
Absolutely, I am.
You are.
Well, anyone that has a dog has to pick up their dog poop.
Exactly.
Have you ever not picking up your dog poop?
No.
You've never?
No.
Never.
No, because we have bags in the car. If I take my dog out for a walk, it's inevitable that I'm going to have to scoop.
Yep.
You just know that when it's like...
I mean, I have bags in every pocket.
Every pocket, every car, everywhere.
And the only time I came close is when my dog was sick one time. And it's hard to pick up.
Oh, loose poop.
Loose stools, sink ships. Is that what it is?
Loose.
Right. And even if I don't have a bag, I'll pick up, with a napkin or something if I have.
Leaf?
Yeah, of course.
A
leaf if I had to, I would.
Yeah.
I was walking down Court Street and Frankie pooped. Now, when Frankie pooped, it was not the kind of thing that you could pick up with a leaf.
Mountains moved.
Mountain. I mean, and first when I first got dogs, I had to get over my gag reflex.
Of course.
You have to get over the gag reflex before you, So at any rate.
Before Frankie you go in for the spill.
Yeah, Frankie pooped right there. Okay. And I said, oh my God, I didn't bring a bag. Do I go home? What do I do? I know where it is. You can't miss it. And then I thought to myself, let me look around. So I just happened to be in front of that real estate office on Court Street. I can't even remember what the name of it is. We know Bob Wilcox Insurance. Mm-hmm. Okay. So I went in there.
Oh, sure.
And I told them that, and they were there. They came out with a plastic bag, and then I went out and took it. But of course, when the grass, what do you do if you don't get all of it?
Well,
I was so embarrassed I didn't want to go back a second time, and it was kind of like all over the. I mean, this is not worthy for breakfast discussion.
No, I think we get the
But
gist
it was
of
all. It wasn't a clean grass.
It wasn't picking upable.
No, it was not a clean poop
Oh my
scoop.
God.
It was not a clean poop scoop.
I carry a a small device with me that has
Us too.
Yeah, and you can scrape and
It's got like a little rake, a little grabber.
Yeah, because I don't like to leave that behind, so I scrape the grass and clean it on the inside of the bag.
Is this April Fool?
No.
No, that is
tomorrow's April's Fool's.
No, today is April Fool's. This
that's
show
right.
is-
Yes,
yes.
No, I do
April
the same
Fools.
thing. You have to clean it up.
You have to think of what you would want people to do when they go on your lawn.
Right.
Well, not
Right.
they, but their dogs.
Right.
Exactly.
And I think, I don't know about you, but I think that people who have tiny dogs, who only leave the raisinets, still have a thinking that, well, it's just a little raisinette. What the heck? And they walk on. I find more little raisin. Maybe it's the bunnies in my yard.
It's probably bunnies.
Yeah.
Bunnies.
I
You
think
know.
I don't know. If I had a judge, I would say that small dog owners, I think they're better than big dog owners at picking up their dog messes.
Oh,
Yeah.
this would be.
That's more from Rehoboth than here.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. Of course, when you're in a rural neighborhood, your dog's out in a field running. You're not going into the woods to pick up after your dog, are you?
Well, if I was walking on a trail or something, I would.
Any place other people are congregating,
Right.
you don't want to leave a dog mess.
So you make a decision, you make a judgment whether this is the area where you're going to.
Yeah, anywhere
Scoop
that
the
other
poop.
people would be.
I mean, most people don't take their dogs into the open woods any longer because there's so many problems with ticks.
Right.
So 95%, except for the hunting breeds who are out in the woods.
Right.
But ticks are a huge problem for
Yeah.
dogs. I mean, almost all dogs will get some type of tick infection in their lifetime.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
my
It's a
God.
big deal.
I've had dogs die from tick infections.
So maybe it's better if you walk your dog on a street.
Well, at least on a path.
Right.
I mean,
yeah.
dogs love to go into the woods. Of course, they're
Yeah.
they're creatures and they love the smells. and
Right.
They romp around. But yeah, it's not really good for them with the ticks population.
Speaking
so
of
bad.
that, do animals play tricks on one another?
I know that they do.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
I have 2 dogs, and there is no question. When Cammie wants to sit next to me, she's the little one.
Right.
She will run to the back door to go out and make Keiko go outside, and then she will stop and run back and sit next to me.
And
And the other
bird
one's
space.
outside, and she's annoyed, and she falls for it every day.
Oh, you're kidding me.
Yes.
You got a smart and a dumb
I
dog.
do. Well, the other one just loves his sister so much that he wants to play with her, but she doesn't. She's a rescue. She probably had some trauma in her life, so she's not much of a player.
Yeah. Oh, got it.
And she's trying so hard to get her to play, but Cammie's just like, "Watch, Mom, I'm gonna do it again," and she'll run over. It's hysterical to watch.
I think dogs have stronger wills than people give them credit for.
Yeah.
And it's probably not joking so much as it is they know what they want and they can figure out ways to get it.
Yep. That is true because Keiko is a huge Swiss Mountain Dog.
Yeah.
And then Cammie's a little Chihuahua
So
Beagle.
she has to rely on
So,
her will.
yeah.
And they're problem solvers.
And they figure it out.
Well, yeah. They know the other animal's behavior, so.
Yeah.
It's hysterical, though.
All those dogs all those animals that play dead when, including pigs. I heard that pigs play dead.
Oh, pigs are actually smarter than dogs.
Pigs are smarter than dogs.
Potbelly pigs, oh my God, you can train them to do anything.
Really?
Oh, sure.
Can you have them in the house?
Sure. Potbelly pigs.
Because you train them where to go to the bathroom.
Yeah. They'll go where they're supposed to go.
And would you allow a pig on your sofa?
Well, if it was my pig and I bathed
If it was
it and everything.
domesticated. Don't forget, pigs have a bad reputation of being filthy animals, but they're actually quite clean.
Oh, okay. All right.
In all dogs and pigs both
Right.
like to roll around and get scratch their back and things like that. But,
Right.
Then they spend all day grooming themselves after that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think that there are a whole series of we can. I've got something online here, but I have to play a song first.
Sure.
Because so speaking of that fish,
Yes.
I can't believe that there was a song written about what I say when James said, "I like fish for supper." And I'd say this to him: "Hold tight. I'll fix you some shrimps and shrimps and rice." I say, "Hold tight for the shrimps and rice." And there's a song about hold tight shrimps and rice. Do you believe this?
Yes, because for you, you would go searching to find the song that matched.
Yes, but a shrimp is not a fish.
A shrimp is not a fish.
It's a
Exactly.
Well, you tell that to the shrimp.
Well, they know. They can.
They know. Wait a minute! Don't eat me a party. Yeah, you're Jewish. No. Whatever. I mean, like whatever. I mean, like what do you do?
They have a shell. That's all.
I don't know. Here are the Andrews Sisters. This is a song that James. This is a song named after what I say to James when he wants fish, and I mistake shrimp for haddock.
Oh, there you go.
Here we go.
Choo-choo to Broadway for Cincinnati. Don't get icky with a 1, 2, 3. Life is just so fine on the solid side of the line. Rip, hold tight, hold tight, hold tight, hold tight. Rack-a-sack, you want some seafood, mama? Shrimps and rice, they're very nice. Hold tight, hold tight, hold tight, hold tight. Rack-a-sack, you want some seafood, mama? Shrimps and rice, they're very nice. I like oysters, lobsters too. I like my tasty butterfish food. When I come home late at night, I get my favorite dish, fish. Hold tight, hold tight, hold tight, hold tight. Rack-a-sack, you want some seafood, mama? Shrimps and rice, they're very nice. Some seafood, mama. Shrimps and rice, they're always very nice. Furia, 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 you want some seafood, mama? Oh, won't you give it to me? 'Cause I am happy as can be when the seafood comes to me. Da-da-da, da-da-da, da-da-da. I like oysters, lobsters too. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. When I get home late at night, I get my favorite dish, fish. Hold tight, hold tight, hold tight, hold tight. Rack-a-sack, you want some seafood, mama? Shrimps and rice are very nice. Hold tight, won't you hold tight, hold tight. Rack-a-sack, you want some seafood, mama? Shrimps and rice are very nice. I like oysters, lobsters too. I like my tasty butterfish gel. When I come home late at night, drip, drip, dripping on the window pane. Wash it. Hold tight, do-da-do-day. Hold tight, she wants seafood, mama. Shrimpers and rice, they're very nice. Too. I like my tasty butterfish food. When I come home late at night, I get my favorite dish, fish. Hold tight, hold tight, hold tight, hold tight. Want some seafood, oh mama? Shrimpers and rice, oh, hold tight.
Underwriting is brought to you by Boise Cascade Distribution, providing products and services needed for building material dealers, home improvement centers, and industrial customers. They offer everything from engineered wood and plywood to Drex decking and railing, James Hardie siding, and Advantech subfloor. Located at 33 Fowler Street Extension in Westfield and on the web at bc.com. They are committed to providing quality products, great service, convenience, and value.
Join me, Tina Gorman, each week from 6 to 8 a.m. for Wake Up Wednesday, when my guests and I discuss health, wellness, and lifestyle reimagined.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB.
Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 and 89.5 FM, WSKB Westfield.
Wow, it is Tuesday. It is April Fool's Day, and April Fools to everyone out there. My name is Bobby Goff, and I'm here in the studio with Priscilla Nevins. And oh my God.
Dudley Do-Right.
Dudley Do-Right. Yeah, no. Actually, it's Bob Plass, Kathy Bradford from Westfield on weekends. I always have that moment when you go,
oh my God, what's my next line?
What's my name? What's my next line? Oh, God. And Denny Aikens, Master of the Universe, both here. Hey, listen to this. We're talking about animals that trick. Get this. Martin
Animals
Stevens.
that trip?
Trick. No, but I don't mean animals that trick others. I mean,
fool.
Got it.
Fool others.
Yeah, fool others. It's not like they're walking the streets looking for it.
I got it.
Yeah, you got it. Martin Stevens, author of the new book Cheats and Deceits, says this North American arachnid, it's a bola, it's a spider, a bolas spider, B-O-L-A-S, creates a dangling ball of sticky material that resembles an ancient weapon called a bolas. You've seen
Yeah,
those,
you know what those are, though.
like in Argentina or someplace. I think probably
No, the ones that
think
have
in Scotland more than
Scotland more where they wing it around their head and
okay.
they throw
I
it.
think the Vikings used them in
Yeah.
pre-Viking era.
They grab you on the neck, bring you down to the ground.
Well, get this. She hangs this from a trapeze wire containing two pieces of vegetation.
They hang it.
They hang it. The
not she.
Spider.
You don't know if it's
we don't know whether it's a woman. Well, yeah, it has to be a woman.
Why?
Because get this,
Oh.
it's the woman spider. She then hangs from a trapeze wire connecting two pieces of vegetation and releases chemicals that mimic the pheromones of female moths.
Oh.
When the male shows up thinking he'll get a mate, she swings the sticky bolas. She ensnares the moth and pulls him in to eat him. Wow. Another dirty trickster is the water strider, an insect that literally walks on water and has a twisted courtship. The females have genital shields to protect them from pushy males. To get around her armor, the males employ a nasty trick. They get on top of the females and strike the water, making vibrations that draw predators. And so they stop their squirming, the woman stopping the squirming, so that then they could make at any rate.
Well, I think the end game here is not foolery. It's eating or mating, which are far higher up the chain than let's play a trick on the other fish.
True.
Okay, I got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, the common cuckoo, native to the you've heard of cuckoos on
Yes,
on
of
April
course.
Fool's Day. It's famous for creeping into other birds' nests and laying an egg, leaving the helpless host to raise the chick as their own. What?
Yes.
Speaking of tomfoolery,
Yeah.
No, it's duck hunting season.
Oh, yeah.
That, sir, is an investigated fabrication. It's wabbit season. Duck season. Wabbit season. Duck season. Wabbit season. Duck season. Wabbit season. Wabbit season. Duck season.
Oh my God. Incredible. So it's not just us that fools people.
No.
What's the biggest joke that's ever been played on you, Kath?
Oh, geez. I have to think about that.
Dennis probably maybe knows one.
Off the top of his head.
my
I
40th
don't know.
birthday party, with I got hoodwinked by my ex-wife.
Oh my God! When you married her, that's when it happened.
No, for my 40th, she had me. That's not nice, Bob.
I know, I didn't mean that. All right,
She had me convinced that I was going to meet up with one of her friends. That I was like, yeah, whatever. Mm-hmm. And I round the corner, and it was the room was packed with family and relatives and stuff like that. So I was like, wow, you got me, but good.
Yeah. Surprise parties.
It's not easy to get me had because I'm pretty.
Yeah.
Pretty good on the clues.
Yeah. I've been known to lie.
You think?
Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
shots fired.
James said no. James,
he admitted it
my,
first.
my spouse says that my family thinks that lying is a form of sport or something. Yeah, no, we lie to one another, and then we tell the truth. You know.
You sure you don't mean that's
lie to save people's feelings?
Well,
You sure don't
Even
mean
when their feelings don't need to be spared.
I know.
Bob, you sure that's not ball busting? Because that does come in the sword side of the house.
Oh, it does? Really?
Yes.
Oh. Well, maybe that's...
My dad was a professional. I grew up with a thick skin because of that. My dad was pro level. He had one of his nieces, niece-in-law.
Right.
Like, she was like, "Why is he so mean to me?" And my mom was like, "He really likes you. If he didn't like you, he wouldn't talk to you at all. But the fact that he knows you can take it, he gives you the business pretty hard because he knows you can take it and he really likes you." So.
Oh, sure. And we talked about this before on the radio. When you do an April Fool's thing, it's fun on April Fool's Day. If you do it other times of the year, and you're pranking someone, the prank kind of like after it's over with, it just sort of lays there. I mean, what do you do? Okay, you've been pranked. Then what?
Well, it's about timing.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know. Maybe it makes for good television, but I don't know in real life whether it really.
I think it all depends on the nature of the prank. I mean, I think there's certain people that, well, I can name one group specifically that I'm aware of, that you almost can never prank these people.
Wait,
because these are people whose birthdays fall on April 1st.
Right.
You can't prank them because they're prepared. They're always prepared for whatever. It's their birthday.
Right.
Oh, my God.
So you can't fool them and surprise them. You can't.
The hardest prank of all is a leap year baby.
Oh,
well, I'm not sure if that's quite on record as that. But it's like,
but it is. It's kind of like.
Yeah, it is similar.
Similar, or the April Fool's, the Christmas baby, somebody that's born.
That's just a jip.
Yeah, it's a jip, but it's almost like the universe is playing.
Yeah, I think
giant
that's more of a
prank on
jip than leap year because leap year babies still celebrate birthdays every year.
Mm.
They don't
They still
celebrate
pick
birthdays
one.
every 3 or 4 years.
One or the other.
Yeah, there's a whole list of events you can go online and find it of things that actually happened on April 1st that people didn't believe and they were connected. I'm trying to think of some of them. Maybe I can find them here while we play a song or whatever. But where it's April 1st and everybody thinks it's a joke.
Right.
When in reality, it's not a joke. Somebody dies on April 1st day, and you think, oh, no, it's just April Fool's Day. Marvin Gaye being murdered by his father or somebody. I think that's one of the things. And people didn't believe it because...
Why would they? I mean, it's April Fool's Day.
Yeah.
I mean, that makes sense that they wouldn't.
It's, I don't know.
I mean, I think it's not always easy to deliver news on April 1st because... tragedies happen.
Right.
If you give a tragedy, there's always like in your head, you're thinking, can I really say this today?
Exactly.
Oh, my God, yeah. And in this, where every day we wake up to some news from
Tragedy.
wherever, and we go, oh, that can't be happening. And then it's happening.
It's happening.
It's happening.
Yeah.
And you sort of say, is it April Fool's Day or whatever? But, okay, here's a question for you. Is it April Fools, FOOL apostrophe S, or April Fools plural, FOOL, no apostrophe S? Of course, if you don't have, you're not a grammarian, it doesn't matter. But
Well, it feels like.
I think it's apostrophe.
I think it's apostrophe.
You think it's apostrophe?
I think it has to do with the act of fooling more than people who are foolish.
It's a day. It's the.
But I have no idea.
Possessive.
Yeah.
It's like
the
a possessive.
We're talking about the trickery, not the individuals.
No. Both spellings, it turns out, are correct.
Well, then that question was needless.
No, yes, the question was neither is the.
It was a red herring.
Well, let me say again, yet another needless question.
Yeah. Well, apparently, however, April Fool's Day with the apostrophe is the more popular spelling, and arguably has the better case for being correct, which is why that's the version that they use at the Museum of Hoaxes.
Ah, very good.
Have you been there?
No.
Do you know where it is?
Hoax.
I am not going to imagine.
Is there a museum
Las
of hoaxes?
Vegas.
Is there a museum of hoaxes?
I have no
Who
idea.
knows? There's an ice cream museum now. So
Yeah.
who knows?
Who knows? Actually, it is a real museum, and I'll pull it up here to show you. Guess where it is? It's in San Diego, of all places. The Museum of Hoaxes. And I was thinking, like the Museum of Mustard. I went to the National Mustard Museum where they collect all kinds of mustard. It's a mustard store. And the more of the store itself is bigger than the museum. But the museum is made of, they've collected bottles from all over the world.
So in other words,
of
you could have a
brands of
museum
mustard.
for anything. We could have a museum of dental floss. If
Oh, of course. I'm sure there is. You probably, go in, I bet there is one. But this is the Museum of Hoaxes, and it's an actual big building that celebrates hoaxes throughout America, throughout the world.
Well, I mean, there are probably some good ones in there.
Yeah.
I mean, there's the National Tort Law Museum, which is down in Winstead, Connecticut.
The National Tort Law. Boy, let me run and get my briefcase.
And let me just stop and yawn for a minute.
I mean, like, I didn't believe it till I drove by it. Like, I know right where it is. It's near the brewery we go to down by Christy's house. And it looks like an old bank. The National Tort Law Museum.
The Tort Law Museum.
Bunch of lawyers would be.
Yeah, let's look.
Yeah, but why would it be in Winstead? I don't understand the connection.
Well,
to
there
that one.
must be some connection. There must be some connection. All right, so look, I'm going to put in Museum of Hoaxes, AOAXES, all right, website. Here we go. You won't believe this. I was just so.
Is that their motto? You won't believe this.
Oh, you know what the connection is, Bob?
That's a great one. What
Bob,
is it?
the National Museum of Tort Law was developed by Ralph Nader, and it's located in his hometown of Winstead, Connecticut.
Oh my God! So it could be the Ralph Nader Museum, which would have more people would go in to just see him and maybe his tie or whatever he was wearing at the time. Okay, so look at this. Wonderful story. Look at this. It's a huge place. The Hoax Museum blog. Okay, wait a minute. The hoaxes there. Okay. So you can go on here and April Fool's Day categories and galleries dedicated to the exploration of hoaxes, mischief, and misinformation throughout history.
Okay, that's kind of fun.
Yeah, isn't this great? And I'll just give you one, the Wisconsin concrete deer hoax. What do you think that was about?
I have no
concrete deer. No, Wisconsin has not accidentally been including concrete deer lawn ornaments in the state's official deer count. So homeowners are free to keep the concrete deers on their lawns, no matter how tacky. I didn't read it. Okay. Recently, some residents reported receiving a letter apparently from the State Department of Natural Resources informing them, please remove any concrete deer ornaments from your lawn by November 1st, 2015. The letter went on to explain that the department would be conducting a statewide deer count, and some yard ornaments may have been counted over the past 2 years by mistake. Look at this. There it
Wouldn't
is.
that coincide with deer hunting season?
Yeah.
So maybe they were concerned that people would be accidentally shooting.
Yeah, of course.
Toward people's houses. That would be far more believable.
It makes it so. On the Facebook page of the department, Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources, it said, several of you have contacted us regarding a document that appears to be a letter from the DNR asking people to remove concrete deer ornaments from the lawn. The letter is a fake.
Oh, well,
Yeah, it's not. It is so interesting to me. And see, here is the letter. They've got it right there. You can go to the Hoaxes Museum and see the real thing.
Well,
it even has a fold in it, Kathy.
Yes, I see it. It looks like it was in someone's back pocket.
And you can contact this museum if you have a hoax that you think belong in this museum. Now look at this. Hoaxes in history from the Middle Ages right straight through the 21st century. And so you could pull it up or whatever. And there are people, I swear, you should see the outside of this place. It's big. I mean, like I can't find it here or whatever, but meanwhile, I need to take a break because I have to use the facility.
Okay. Is that
a hoax?
It's not a hoax. Did you want to come to make sure it's not a hoax?
No, I do not.
No. So I thought that we would play one of my favorite Bette Midler songs. You know this song? It was really written by Lamberts, Hendricks, and Ross. It's a jazz song.
Cool.
Annie Ross wrote this. You know the song Twisted? My analyst told me that I was right out of my head. You got to hear the words to this. It's incredible. And this is Bette Midler's version with the Harlots. It was from her first album years and years ago. Here it is.
How you doing, girls? Long time no see. Listen, I've been to the doctor lately. Honey, I just had $40 to hear that from that guy. My analyst told me that I was right out of my head. The way you described it, he said, you'd be better off dead than alive. I didn't listen to his jive. I knew all along he was all wrong, and I knew that he thought I was crazy. But you know, no. My analyst told me that I was right out of my head, missing any treatment. But I'm not that easily led, he said. I was the type that was most inclined when I would have decided to be out of my mind, and he thought I was nuts. No more ifs or ands or buts, so no. They say as a child I appeared a little bit wild with all my crazy ideas, but I knew what was happening, I knew I was a genius. What's so strange when you know that you're a wizard at 3? I said, baby, this was meant for me. I heard little children were supposed to sleep tight. That's why I drank a fifth of vodka one night. My parents got frantic, didn't know what to do, but I saw some crazy things before I came to none. Do you think I was crazy? I may have been only 3, but I was swinging. They all laughed at Graham Bell, they all laughed at Edison, and also at Einstein. So why should I feel sorry if they just didn't understand the reasoning and the logic that went on in my head? I had a brain, it was insane, so I just let them laugh at me when I refused to ride on all those double-decker buses, all because there was no driver on the top. Did you ever hear a story like that in your life? Honey, that chick is bananas. Do you hear bananas? Oh, waiter, bring me another banana daiquiri, would ya? Oh, here she comes again. My analyst told me that I was run out of my head, but I said, doctor, I think that it's you instead, cause I got a thing that's so unique and new. It proves that I got the last laugh on you, cause instead of one head, ooh, I got 2. And you know 2 heads are better than 1. Honey, she is twisted.
Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by the Dunkin' Donut Shops of Westfield and the Sardinia family. It's nice to know that even as the world changes, Dunkin' Coffee remains the same at 7 convenient locations throughout Westfield.
Underwriting for Community Radio on WSKB is brought to you in part by Rockies. Over 30 convenient locations throughout Massachusetts, Rhode Island, New Hampshire, Connecticut, and Florida. One of the nation's largest ACE dealers. Expertise and great product selection in paint, hardware, lawn and garden. That's Rockies. Rock solid service since 1926. On the web at rockies.com.
Hi, this is Harry Rock, host of Rock on Westfield every 4th Wednesday at 8 a.m. Tune in for my view of this place I call home.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB.
Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 and 89.5 FM, WSKB Westfield.
Hey, this is Dean Cain. You're listening to my friends Robbie, Lynn, and Pete on the Bobby G and Company Show on WSKB 89.5 FM. I'm also listening right alongside.
Hello, I'm Bobby Goff, and here I am. I'm the paranormal expert. Ask me anything, and I'll tell you what it is.
Well, you do know about paranormal since he did investigate your house.
Oh, my God, they investigated my house. They found
What
mice.
did they find?
They found mice.
Okay.
No, they actually found
This was a long time ago, right?
Long time ago. It was
350 for the
350th. So how
Long
many
time
years
ago.
ago? Yeah, how long ago was that?
That was
It seems like
2019.
Wow.
2019. So that
5
was
years ago.
5 years ago. No, it's 8 years ago.
Almost
wasn't
6 years ago.
it? Oh, 6 years. What is it? Wait a minute. 2019.
Well, we just
that's
started
it.
2025, so
That's-
really it's...
that- yeah.
I'll start playing the Doctor Who theme for Bob. He's losing track
Oh
of
my
time.
God! Listen. I don't know where time goes. I really don't know, and
Well, it's an artificial construct, so it doesn't matter.
oh God, I know.
Then how do they measure it with the atomic clock?
Don't know.
There's this atomic clock in New York City, and you see or maybe it's the national debt or something, isn't it? That there's a
there's an actual
this big
atomic
clock.
No,
Where
but
is
it's not
it?
in New York City, I don't think, Pete.
No,
Where is
it's
it?
in Greenwich.
Right.
I thought it was in Greenwich.
Greenwich, Connecticut?
No,
Greenwich,
No.
England.
Oh,
Greenwich Mean Time.
Oh, okay. And it actually gets it the right. Well,
I mean, the concept of time is a construct, I guess.
Of course, it didn't mean you guess.
Yeah.
Of course, it's artificial.
it's not.
Time is not. The only
it's not-
time that exists is right now.
Then how do we define it as a dimension if it's an artificial
Because you
construct?
can create dimension. It's space. I mean, space is a dimension. I'm not
Yeah,
sure like time is.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting to me because I often think that we don't understand that we're all made of these molecules. You're made of molecules, aren't you, Kath?
Sure.
And same over here. Okay, so and are there molecules between us?
I don't think
Of course.
air, I suppose.
Yeah, they're just not. Yes, they're just
They're
not as
molecules
dense.
here. And in reality, we are one big solid molecule. Or
Well,
I mean,
all
like,
right, so
like-
I have a-
no, you don't get it. No.
Yeah, I get it. And I think that's true. It's just that we're more dense so that we stay together, but the air is lesser dense.
Well,
So
yeah,
this
we
is-
have the weak force of gravity.
Uh-huh.
But according to AI, here's what AI says
Okay.
about that.
AI, is AI now the expert?
Oh yeah, well,
Well, I agree with this. Well,
There's a reason it's called artificial.
let's hear it.
While the concept and measurement of time are human constructs, the underlying reality of change and progression of events, which you perceive as time, is not.
Right.
So now is now, and now is gone the minute you say the word now.
Does
that make it? It's sort of like
Of course.
this show we're taping now, but it's
a
tomorrow.
convenience that's created to organize human beings because, just the very fact that you can look at the night sky and see something that happened occasionally 1 million years ago, like when the Hubble telescope takes pictures of the sky and they analyze it.
Right.
They're seeing things that happened millions and sometimes billions of years ago.
Right.
But it's only that light is reaching the telescope now.
Yes.
So that doesn't exist now. That existed 1 million years ago.
Right. You're seeing back in time.
So how far do you see before? Yeah. I mean, like something that. Where is the present end in the sky? We're looking up at the sky, Kath. You and I go out after I say meet me after dinner, and we go out to the sky here, and I say, okay, we're only going to look at the sky that is present. We don't want to see what's beyond the present.
Well, you're still.
Is that possible?
Yes, it is. But you're using more artificial constructs to do that. In other words, you're looking for light that should only exist within your eyesight. So if somehow you could switch and turn off the stars that are no longer there, you're still seeing them because they existed a while ago. But
So we're seeing the past.
Yeah.
We are actually seeing.
Right,
the
and just
past.
that dichotomy tells you that time is.
No, I'm just thinking because of when I was 14, we were in National Center West in Wyoming, and out in the most expanse I've ever seen, and the moon was rising and the sun was setting, and you could see where we were, and you could see the sun setting and the moon rising. It was all of the day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I'm trying to match that with what Denny's saying.
Yeah.
But of course, the sun and the moon are both within our solar system.
Right.
The light reaches us from both of those.
Right.
Well, the
Right.
light on the moon is really the sun's light, not the moon.
Exactly.
Are
The
we
moon does
seeing
not
And the
the
shine.
sun's lights are actually on a time
Oh.
delay anyways, because it's a couple of minutes.
Oh,
Right.
sun's
Well,
light.
everything that's far out is on a time delay.
Yeah.
Sure.
It takes several
Even
minutes
within
for
our
the,
even
it takes-
within our solar system.
Yeah.
You know, it will take millions of years to even like we want to travel to another galaxy.
Right.
It would take a million of years to get there.
Yeah.
I think the closest, is 23 light years away, and it would take. They said,
and even light years. The fact that we create light years, it's only to match our construct of time. Light years is how fast. That's the fastest we know that anything can travel is the time of light. And I suppose you can break that eventually too.
That something
use
travels
something-
faster than light.
in theoretical
That's
physics.
Superman.
In theoretical physics, you can warp space around you. That actually, what Star Trek does is rooted in some theoretical physics.
Well, there's a lot of different theories. I mean, theoretical physics is also multiple universes, so we don't know really. It's all theory.
Right.
Yeah, people wonder whether apparitions and things like that are other universes leaking through.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's, oh, God. And they're probably looking at us and saying, look at those April Fools.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know,
they could be extremely, extremely backwards.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah. It is so
It
freaky.
will bend your mind if you really start thinking about it.
This is one of the reasons why
Yeah.
there are credible scientists who think we should not be trying to communicate with other species.
Why?
Because we don't, if they could interpret what we're doing, they might be so far advanced that there might be something here they want, and they'll just
might not be- yeah, they might
they'll
not be
just
benevolent.
pulverize. They might not
Yep.
be benevolent at all.
Right.
These people are so backwards to exist. We're going to just wipe them out. We could be a bacteria.
We're
But-
just going to scoop their planet.
We're international pooper scooper
So
galaxy.
So there's been a lot of attempt over the years to constantly play the same signal of sound and
Yeah.
send it out on radio telescopes around the globe, so that people somewhere, things somewhere, could hear the consistency of the message. And now scientists saying maybe that's not such a good idea.
Isn't that interesting?
Mm-hmm.
So, but
That concept's been explored in Doctor Who for decades.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh God. It's so interesting.
Not everybody out there likes you.
Yeah, but
Not everybody out there are
But
the
the
Vulcans.
concept of love,
I mean-
love and peace and kindness and all that stuff is
That doesn't necessarily
It's
exist
gene-
within our own race, Bob.
I mean, yeah, I was
Yeah.
going to say we have those they're just concepts, but think of how violent not just humans are, but how violent the Earth is.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, even creature to creature.
Yep.
I mean, it's all survival and all.
Oh my God.
I wouldn't want to go up against a great white shark because I'm going to lose
Oh.
every time,
Yeah, really.
every single time.
yeah.
Absolutely.
You know, it's one of those things where you just wonder. Makes you sort of think, well, is it worth it? And
Is what worth it?
I'm more
what
taken,
is this worth?
I'm more taken by the majesty of it all. The fact that I'm part of that.
Yes.
That I don't feel small. I feel part.
Yeah. You ever feel huge?
No.
Oh, no. Good Lord, no.
Okay. Well, look at this.
I'm one little peon.
All right.
And
So this is, sometimes people don't like the New York Times, but what part on Sunday that I love, they have a children's section, okay? And it's always this kind of, you open it or
Right.
whatever.
Yeah.
So this week,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I thought, my God, maybe it's April Fool's thing, but this is called the huge issue.
Yeah. So it's all about comparisons.
Well, not only that, look at this. The pages, and it's only for adults. No, it's only for children. And it says on the top, if you are an adult, do not read this, et cetera, et cetera. And I thought, oh my God, I gotta read it. So look at this. I mean, these are all pages. And look at that eye, right? You can see this right here? Read that, Dennis. What is it? This is the actual size of what is it?
My neck doesn't twist that far. Sorry.
It doesn't.
Colossal squid eye?
A colossal squid eye in the universe. Yeah. And so this is the eye of a squid that you would meet, okay? And so I went down all of these
A giant squid, is that what that is?
A giant squid.
One of the largest creatures on Earth.
Look at this. Here's the look at this paw right here. See this?
Look at the what?
This is a paw of a Amur tiger paw.
I can't see it.
Wow, it's big.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. And so this whole thing has all these articles that are just great. You gotta, if you have a chance, look online or whatever. 37 tiny stories about big things, okay? The loudest burp.
But big is not always dangerous. I mean,
No,
elephants are very gentle and intelligent.
Yeah. No, it's loud. The loudest burp, according to the Guinness Book of Records, was recorded by as loud as a jackhammer. 22 feet, the length of a human small intestine. I mean, your intestine is 22 feet long?
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Oh, my God.
Well,
Yeah.
You need it to get nutrition.
And it really is biggest hands. Here, this is. I know whose it isn't. Sultan Kozan's hands are bigger than a sheet of printed paper. They are 11.2 inches long and a foot wide, with fingers spread. It's no surprise he's 8'3", the world's oldest living person. But, oh my God! I mean, I'm telling you, asteroid not going to hit Earth after all, scientists say. Did you know that?
I don't know.
If you follow space news, you may have heard chatter recently that sounded just a little bit alarming. In December, scientists detected that an asteroid that was on course to hit us in 2032.
Well, I don't think it was on course to hit us. It was on course to come near us.
At between 130 and 300
in South America, right?
Yeah, across. It's not the biggest asteroid ever. Wait a minute.
It's the size of
130 feet by 300
the size
feet.
of a football field.
Oh my God! But it was big enough to do some damage if it made contact. Go.
All that kinetic energy coming to hit the Earth.
Yeah.
That would do a lot of damage.
Last month, after taking more observations, NASA concluded that the asteroid wasn't actually going to hit us, so the agency wouldn't need to deploy its stop the asteroid from hitting Earth techniques.
Do you think we actually have the capability of doing that yet?
No, but check out this
Do you think
one.
they'd actually tell us?
What is this?
618,000 square miles. 618,000.
What is?
That is the estimated current size of the Great Pacific Garbage Patch.
Wow,
between
yeah.
here and Hawaii.
Yeah, it floats
Hawaii and
around.
California. Yep.
618,000
square miles.
Oh my God! So, I love all of this because
This is my favorite.
Isn't that great? Show that
Yes.
picture. There's a little mouse and a giant elephant's foot.
So you can
But
see relative size. That's awesome, Bob.
I said, I gotta sit down later on and read this huge thing that's only for children. You know, it's amazing. Maybe I have the brain of a 5-year-old. I don't know.
No, I would like to read this too.
Isn't this great?
Yeah. Can I have that on
Yeah,
a second?
of course. John steps inside a factory that makes jumbo tires is one page.
I know. It's amazing.
To polish off this cupcake, you'll have to throw a party. And so they
Look
have
at
a
the
party.
actual size of the cupcake. Actual.
Actual size
Not
of
just
the...
a drawing. It's the actual size. I can't even
They
it up.
probably give you the how to cook it. You probably
I'm sure it's done in many cakes.
Yeah,
and put
look at
together.
this. Here's the world's largest working fire hydrant. It's in Beaumont, Texas. It's huge, and the world's largest pistachio, Alamogordo, New Mexico. That
that's
fell from
awesome.
the sky. At any rate.
All right.
We diverge here. Let's take a break. I want to play you. Let's take a break. He's one of my favorite pianists. You ever heard of Jonathan Edwards?
Oh, of course.
Yeah. This is his version of
Sunshine
That's the Jonathan Edwards, the folk singer. This is Jonathan Edwards, the pianist. This is Copacabana, one of my favorite versions of Copacabana.
And would that be the Barry Manilow version?
No. This is on piano. You love it. Just listen.
Okay.
Have you heard it?
Barry Manilow played piano.
Oh, piano. Yeah. Well, I think this guy plays piano better than Barry Manilow.
Oh, he probably does.
Well, let's hear it.
Underwriting for WSKB's community radio programming is brought to you in part by R. Levesque Associates. They are offering landscape architecture, civil engineering, environmental permitting, and land surveying. RLA is a second-generation company devoted to excellence in the planning and design of outdoor spaces. On the web at rlaland.com or at 40 School Street in Westfield.
I'm Mark Auerbach. Join me every Friday at 8 a.m. for ArtsBeat, where you'll meet interesting actors, directors, designers, and musicians here in Western New England.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB.
Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 and 89.5 FM, WSKB Westfield.
Wow, that was Jonathan Edwards. Actually, you know who that was? That's the arranger Paul Weston, who was married to Joe Stafford. And they did all of these serious. Joe Stafford was one of the greatest singers ever. And you can, see the pyramids along the Nile. So they did all of these records where she was just a little off key, and his piano stylings were just a little bit off. And so after Joe died, Joe Stafford, he did a record or two on his own as Jonathan Edwards, the lousy piano player. So what you do is you put this on, you put a record on at a party and April Fool all of your friends saying, because, saying this is one of my favorite pianists or whatever. Or you just have it playing there and they're wondering, who the What
Right.
What the
Why
heck?
is-
What
there's
is
something wrong
you,
with that.
You gotta hear Joe Stafford sing "I Love Paris in the Springtime," and she goes, "I love Paris in the springtime," and it's a decent album actually, and you spend money to buy it. I don't know. It's sort of like, remember years ago when Mrs. Miller, in the 1960s, there was a housewife who really sang off key, very similar to Florence Foster Jenkins, who we began our program with. And she was so off key that she developed a career. She was on a Johnny Carson show singing stuff. Mrs. Miller sings or whatever. But at any rate, it's strange what money will buy, right? You know.
Yes.
Hey, while we got you here, what's happening down at WOW's Creative Arts Center? We've just extended our wonderful show. Yeah.
Well, I think that the biggest news is that this quilt show down at the gallery is just so phenomenal, and it has brought us people from all over the region, just literally
all over New England. Actually.
All over New England. Yep.
Yeah.
And it's just fabulous. And Janetta Miller and her daughter Aisha have been in the gallery, meeting people and connecting and teaching classes. This past weekend, we had a full house at the jazz concert for Janetta, performed by two of our students at Westfield State University.
Unbelievable! That was a standing O. They were
Yeah.
they were so great. Yeah.
So it's just tremendous, and so the display is still there. It will extend another week till about the 12th.
April 10th, I think.
10th.
It's the 10th.
Yep,
yes.
it's the 10th, and we're there Monday, usually Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, 12 to 3, for sure. Thursday evening. Friday evening, Saturday afternoon.
Right.
And so,
she's selling like hotcakes, her stuff.
Right.
First, is very expensive because they're from all over, fabrics from all over the world. I noticed in this New York Times edition, this Sunday edition, there was a big article about Felicia Rashad, who
Yes, I saw that.
Yeah, she's a director. Of course, she's Bill Cosby's wife, but she's directing now apparently.
Oh, she was Bill Cosby's television.
Television wife. Oh my God, come here.
Please.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Television wife. And we
she's
had
directed before though.
has she? Yeah. She bought some silk for Janetta from Paris. And
Yep.
so there's a quilt down there dedicated to Felicia Rashad. It's called Felicia
Yep.
Rashad's Gift. There are quilts, there's fabric from all over the world. When Janetta Miller was a cultural envoy to the Ivory Coast, which is now, I think, called Ghana? Is it? No, wait a minute. What's the Ivory Coast called now? It might be called something else.
I think it is.
I mean, maybe it's Ghana. Yeah. But at any rate, you have to see this exhibit if you have not.
Well,
and you can buy some
I
stuff.
think one of the really important things is not only is this fabric from all over the world, some of the fabric was actually made by Janetta.
Oh, yeah.
She had a vision for what it would be. She created it. She painted it. She made it. Tie-dyed it. It depended on what she was looking for, and if she hadn't found it, she made it herself. So
Wow.
these quilts are they capture so much, and all of them are unique and different and worth the visit.
Yeah, and AI, she uses AI. She's an octogenarian. And Pete, we did thanking you for doing a special, a Wow It's Tuesday special. Now, how do folks see the special with Janetta and myself for an hour and 15 minutes?
Hour and a half.
Oh, it's an hour and a half.
It's up on YouTube under, if you look on WSKB Community Radio.
Right.
Under the Wow It's Tuesday playlist. It's up there on the playlist.
Right. And is it also appearing occasionally on Channel 15? And
we've thrown it in a couple of times at different spots. Yeah.
Oh, would you do it during the next 2 weeks so folks
Sure.
can? Yeah, that would be great if you could. So this is a woman who has done a lot. Interesting. She told me a story that's kind of in a certain sense upsetting. I hope it's not going to happen. But the FBI, she's on in an exhibit at the Renwick Gallery of the Smithsonian.
Sure.
Yeah, and the
Which could be in trouble.
the FBI visited this week and said that the show that she is in may have to shut down because some of the quilts detail the history of slavery in America or what has happened to black folks. And the woman that runs or is the curator of the show, Carolyn Mazlumi, who is one of the world's most famous book writers on quilts, et cetera, is the mentor of Janetta Miller, and Carolyn called her, Dr. Mazlumi called her to say, we may have to stop the show. So dependent on where the government goes around this kind of thing, and it's a little distressing, and I'm just hoping, isn't that? Yeah. But at any rate, we can continue.
It's very distressing.
It is very distressing.
I do,
And we
change
have
history.
to. You know, we have to, and this is in its own way political, but for things like history and for things that are truth, we can't deny the truth. And how do we do it? We probably, one of the school districts in America banned a black history class or something. So a woman now is teaching on Saturdays a black history class. So that kind of thing has to happen. We have to counter that. We have to counter attempts to whitewash, and I use that word specifically, whitewash our history. We can take the good with the bad. We recognize that Benedict Arnold is a traitor. Now, whether we whitewash that and eliminate Benedict Arnold from our history books, or we can go back and we can find folks who have made mistakes throughout history, who have not been the kindest. It's important for us to recognize that we're all sides to all people, and this is not just a woke idea.
Also, the concept of greatness. I mean, my sense of America's greatness comes from its ability to change.
Oh, its ability to recognize its errors.
Of course, I mean, there's so many levels we could discuss this at, but change is growth, and some nations aren't allowed to grow. They're not allowed to change because they think they create the perfect government for some people. We all know that things must change in order to improve. Whether it's your design and new science comes along for how you build a road, you're going to change to the better and cheaper elements to make a road better if you can,
and more efficient, and
sociologically, it's no different.
Financial,
when countries adopt program, when we have a history of slavery, for example, and yet we found our way out of it. Yes, through a civil war at times, but the reality is that was what makes people greater, is that they can recognize even as an individual, you recognize your faults and you try to improve them.
And you evolve, and you don't evolve unless you know the truth about who you are.
Of course, that's just denial.
I mean, like I don't know the truth about me.
Well, you know it better than anyone else.
Yeah, I know it better than anyone else, but it's a constant. I'm still learning. I'm still trying to be better. And to use a word, greater, if I want to be grandiose.
Well, there's no question we're a great nation, but it's a question that I think most people would say that we evolved, like you said earlier, to get there.
Yeah. And so when we hear stories like that, trying to shut down the mere, anybody. And I bet there are museums throughout the world, the Museum of Dissent or the Museum of Revolution or whatever. I mean, they're there for a reason, right?
Right, and they're in countries where that's the norm. When I lived in South America, we had a mini revolution, and we stopped going to classes while we were down there. And it's just because their system of government was whoever can take over the space becomes the president.
Oh.
And so on any given day. So I'm sure in that history of that country, that is just over and over and over again, people taking, taking over. And so you look at all those different countries and see all of that. We thankfully had a group of people who were dedicated to thinking about how it might be hundreds of years from that moment.
Yeah.
And so it's interesting to me that some of those things that are in our Constitution, the very backbone of our nation, are even being questioned.
Well, maybe to evolve, we have to go through this. And I would say for all of us out there that it is important for us to preserve what we feel is right and preserve our right to say that we don't appreciate this or we don't like it or whatever, just as the other side, whoever that other side is, can say we need to develop that spirit,
right?
Rather than not. And so I urge all of you that when opportunities come to tell the truth, to tell the children, your children and your friends, if they've made a mistake, that maybe that isn't the real truth or whatever. I mean, we're dealing with truth in a world of difficulty right at the moment, and trying to find that truth, trying to find where it is and know it and whatever. But we do know that the past is the past, and we can look and say, this happened and this happened. Let's not make it happen again.
Yeah, and I think it can be done, and I think many people have tried to make the past relevant by not damning the past, but that's showing it was. We all know that, if you look at, America was a child at one time and an adolescent at one time.
Yeah.
Right.
And we're neither now. But you would not put the same pressure on something that someone did as an adolescent that you would if they did as an adult.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's any different here. But it doesn't mean you stop talking about what existed at that time.
No.
Right.
I just have one question on that. Why was there a big push to erase all evidences of the Civil War in current modern history and folklore and things like that?
I don't understand that at all.
I don't understand that either.
Where is that happening, Peter? I don't know where that's happening.
Where they've taken down statues.
Statues and flags and things like that.
No, I think that's part of the conversation, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm totally with you on that one.
If you don't have the symbols there to remind you of the badness and the goodness that comes out of everything, then you're doomed to repeat that cycle, and that concept will flourish because now
one exception, Peter. I think what we're talking about with statues and sometimes like that, as opposed to what we started talking about, was going in and potentially taking a museum display down, is that one celebrates what exists as statues can be there to celebrate something that was not good for the country. I don't think the museum is trying to celebrate slavery.
I don't consider it celebration. I consider it a reminder.
Well, I think there are. I don't know if you've ever been to South Carolina, but I've seen statues that are celebrating.
Right. Sometimes
they have festivals around the statues.
Oh.
Well,
it's so interesting to me that we are continuing this discussion, and we will continue this discussion because I think that is the healthy part.
Yeah, and I think Peter's point is a very good one.
Oh, yeah.
That should be in the mix, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
And every statue, I feel that if a statue is there, you put the General Shepherd statue up. And then if indeed you need to put a caveat next to the real history here, you put it right there because everyone is good and bad at the same time.
Every statue that has a person about it, there were good and bad in that single person.
Oh,
there's always warts.
Yeah.
And there's always shining
and even for
examples.
the heroes that we celebrate today that we think aren't coming down, nobody is perfect every day.
Yeah.
And the times were different too. We have to remember that's why we want to study history, because you have to understand why they did it for when they did it.
Yeah.
And it's not
maybe do it again.
Always to be bad.
Yeah, no, maybe do it again because they did it correctly back then. I mean, for God's sake, April. This is not an April Fool's discussion at all, but I would say that if you would like to see some art that celebrates diversity, and again, that's a bad word in today's world, unfortunately. But
well, not if you don't make it bad.
Well, yeah, but celebrates culture in a way. The culture of America is down at Westfield on weekends right now.
Absolutely.
You know,
it's gorgeous.
And we have to remember, America wouldn't exist without diversity.
Oh.
Because we were all immigrants at one time.
Oh, man. And wouldn't exist without folks like you.
Except Native Americans, who we forget about a lot.
Well, actually, they came over here 14,000 years ago over the land bridge in the Bering Sea.
Yeah. No, you're touching on.
Maybe it was all one big landmass back then.
Actually, at one time, North America and the Asian continent were connected.
Yeah,
the Bering Sea didn't exist.
That's what science believes. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. And, maybe that's the thing, to sort of think about this as one big global expanse that needs to grow in love and in an appreciation of one another. At any rate, look, what else is happening? There are courses and classes to be taken. Bingo is on April 11th down at
April 14th.
April 14th. We got a great show opening up right after. It's called In Full Bloom. No, I'll get I'll get it right. In Full Flower with the artists of Arts West and friends that we know who are near and dear, and that's going to be with floral designers and artists. So that's for 3 weeks in the springtime, and following that we have journey stories, right?
Yeah, the essence of aging. We're looking for that.
We're looking for 90 and 95 and 100-year-old folks. If you know of somebody, you can email us who live in Westfield, and we'll take their picture perhaps. At any rate, listen, I have to go off. I got interesting. I meant to tell you all guys that I am going to welcome fighter jets back to America at the Barnes Airport with Pete Hegseth in July 4th this year.
You mean the 104th, not
the 104th. I've been asked to be there. April Fool's, everyone.
Oh.
I've also
this is not an April Fool's, but launching would have been yesterday. They're launching the first ever astronaut mission into polar orbit for a 3 to 5 day mission. It's a privately funded mission called FRAM-2. FRAM-2.
FRAM-2.
And it's going to have 4 astronauts launching into polar orbit for the first time.
Wow.
Going around the polar ice cap. Oh, my God. Fabulous.
Yeah.
I can't believe that they've never orbited on the polar orbit. It doesn't make sense to me that they haven't.
Well, it's always been an equatorial orbit, but they're going to do the north-south route instead of the east.
Yeah, they always go the other way.
It's usually an easterly, westerly track.
Wow.
But they've been launching satellites into polar orbit for years, but this is the first time there's ever been a manned mission.
Oh, I can't. When's that happening?
It's launching,
named after Peter Frampton.
Oh, is it named after Peter Frampton?
It's launching March 31st between 9:46 p.m. and 2:26 a.m.
From where?
This will be from the Kennedy Space Center.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice. Very nice.
Okay. Well, listen, everybody, you go off and launch a rocket in your backyard this afternoon in celebration. No, don't. April Fool's Day, everyone, is something to enjoy with your friends.
Yes.
Laugh and have a good time today. And let's go out with one of my. This is such a romantic song. I can't wait. It's. I think we ought to make cocktails for 4, but this is cocktails for 2.
Very nice.
Yeah.
And
enjoy.
lovers are known to be fools.
Who's?
Lovers.
Lovers.
Known to be. So you were saying this is the most romantic song.
Oh, it's romantic, and in April Fool's, yes.
When you're in love, you can't help it.
When you're in love, the whole world is foolish. Happy April Fool's Day, everyone. See you next time. Bye. Thank you, guys.
Bye.
You're welcome.
What delight to be given the right to be carefree and gay once again. No longer slinking, respectably drinking like civilized ladies and men.
No longer need we men charming scene like this. In some secluded rendezvous that overlooks the avenue, with someone sharing a delight, chat this and that, and cocktails for two, as we enjoy a cigarette to some exquisite chansonette. Two hands are sure to slyly meet beneath the serviette with cocktails for two. My head may go reeling, but my heart will be obedient, with intoxicating kisses for the principal ingredient. Most any afternoon at 5, we'll be so glad we're both alive. Then maybe fortune will complete her plan that all began with cocktails for two. Most any afternoon at 5, we'll be so glad we're both alive. Then maybe fortune will complete her plan that all began